Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on
anything. That's a regret I have. I really shouldn't have said nothing, cause we not in the same league.
And because you finally did it, because you didn't have no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it.
That's kind of like hate and jealousy. And hate and jealousy is a form of grief.
You probably know Steve Harvey, the comedy king who rose from kings of comedy to daytime TV, author, and motivational speaker. The man's a legend, no doubt. But according to Katt Williams, there's a darker side of Steve Harvey the public's never seen, and it's worse than anyone imagined. In this video, Katt isn't holding back. He's not just throwing shade, he's dropping bombs. According to him, Steve Harvey isn't just a comedy icon. He's a fraud who's been playing the game all wrong. So, what exactly did Katt Williams say? Why is he calling out Steve Harvey now? And more importantly, is there any truth behind these explosive claims? Let's break it all down.
Just because a person sits on the show and don't hesitate or say or and speaks eloquently, that don't mean it's...
Katt Williams has never been one to hold back. From his stand-up specials to his explosive interviews, he's always spoken his mind loud and clear. Fearless, unfiltered, and unapologetic, Katt's never shied away from challenging the status quo. And this time, his target is none other than Steve Harvey.
Supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve.
For years, everyone's known about the tension between Katt Williams and Steve Harvey. Their relationship has always been rocky, and it's no secret. The most talked about moment came when Katt accused Steve of stealing jokes from other comedians, including Mark Curry. According to Katt, Steve built his career on other people's material, and Katt didn't stay silent about it. "I ain't really good at social media, so I didn't even know that was out there," he once said. But in this new video, Katt takes things even further. He claims Steve Harvey is worse than people realize, that the man behind the wholesome, family-friendly image isn't who he pretends to be. In Katt's words, Steve Harvey is nothing more than a hypocrite. So what exactly did Katt say that has everyone talking? Well, it all starts with him acknowledging Steve's success.
See, first of all, I ain't really good at social media, so I didn't even know that was out.
No one can deny it. Steve Harvey is a powerhouse in comedy, television, and media. He's got the accolades, the books, the talk shows, the full package. But according to Katt Williams, that success came with a price, and it wasn't just hard work. Katt claims Steve's rise to the top was built on playing the system and using people to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was rough.
Katt claims Steve built his entire career by aligning himself with people who could benefit him, even if it meant stepping on others along the way. It's a bold accusation, especially coming from someone like Katt Williams, a man who's always prided himself on being the anti-Hollywood voice in the room.
Like really kiss most of the corners of my... When a person sits on the show and don't hesitate or say or and speaks eloquently, that don't mean it's not in the same league, though. We shooting at two different baskets. I shouldn't even have said nothing.
But Katt doesn't stop there. He calls out the way Steve Harvey presents himself, this positive, motivational figure preaching about success, discipline, and hard work while, according to Katt, secretly playing dirty behind the scenes.
We got started, and it was rough, man, because it was just the three of us. And the first night we did it was...
He says Steve Harvey's good guy image is nothing more than a facade, a carefully crafted mask that hides the real Steve Harvey, a man more obsessed with fame and control than honesty and integrity.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about this concept. When the promoter told me about it in October, I shot it down. Because that ain't how I've ever promoted it with some real monsters, man. I toured with the Kings. You know, I've been on stage with Sid, DL, and Burning Man.
Let's be clear, this isn't the first time Katt Williams has accused Steve Harvey of foul play. The stories have been circulating for years. The stolen jokes, the public tension, the quiet feud between two comedy giants. But this time, Katt takes it to an entirely new level. He's not just calling Steve out for being a bad comedian, he's calling him out for being a bad person. According to Katt, Steve Harvey has a long-standing pattern using people for his own gain, then discarding them the moment they are no longer useful. It's a serious accusation, one that paints Steve not as a man climbing the ladder, but as someone making sure no one else gets close enough to take his spot. Katt points to the way Harvey rose through Hollywood's ranks not through pure talent, but through connections and calculated moves. In Katt's eyes, Harvey's success wasn't organic. It wasn't built on hard work alone, it was built on manipulation, on knowing the right people, and doing whatever it took to stay ahead. For Katt, this is the real story behind Steve's empire. It's not about jokes or timing, it's about control. Harvey didn't just want to make it to the top, he wanted to own the game itself. But Katt's frustration runs deeper than the business side. There's a personal sting to it, a sense of betrayal. In his eyes, this isn't just about comedy rivalries or stolen punchlines. It's about loyalty, trust, and the way Harvey allegedly uses and discards the very people who helped him climb. Katt even suggests that several of Steve's former colleagues were left hurt in the process, collateral damage in his climb to power. And then, Katt turns the heat up even more. He claims Steve Harvey has a side the public has never seen, a side completely hidden behind that polished image of a family man and motivational speaker. According to Katt, that image is nothing but a mask, one that conceals a ruthless, power-hungry figure who will do whatever it takes to stay on top.
Our shows. So I took cash that night because I'm gonna go across the border to the casinos in Canada. I'm gonna gamble. We in the limo, me and Said, we going across the thing. Border Patrol say, "Who are you?"
Katt goes even further, claiming that Steve Harvey has become so obsessed with maintaining control over his career and brand that he's been willing to step on anyone, even if it means burning bridges with friends, colleagues, and people who once helped him along the way. So what does this all mean? Is Steve Harvey really as bad as Katt says he is? According to Katt, this isn't about hate, it's about truth. He's made it clear that exposing the reality behind Hollywood's polished image matters more to him than protecting it. Katt says he's shining a light on what he calls the ugly side of success, the manipulation, the backstabbing, and the selfishness that often go unnoticed beneath all the glitz and glamour. But Katt isn't the only one speaking out. Many in the industry agree the world of comedy and entertainment isn't as pure as it looks. Behind the smiles and the stage lights, even the biggest names might be hiding a much darker truth. As for Steve Harvey, he hasn't publicly responded to Katt's latest claims. But if history tells us anything, it's that Steve knows how to handle controversy. He's faced scandals before and somehow, he always manages to come out on top. Whether he chooses to address Katt's accusations head-on or simply let them fade away remains to be seen. One thing's certain, Katt Williams has once again shaken up Hollywood. And this time, the drama between him and Steve Harvey seems to be reaching a boiling point. Who's telling the truth? Who's playing the game? And who's going to come out on top in this battle of words? Stay tuned, because in the world of comedy, it's never just about the punchlines. It's about the power plays happening behind the scenes. And Katt isn't the only one who's noticed. Over the years, fans and fellow comedians have called out Steve Harvey's questionable moves, the enemies made, the bridges burned, and the unapologetic attitude that seems to follow him everywhere. But to Katt, this isn't just about how Steve got ahead, it's about what he's done to stay there. Think about it. Steve Harvey wasn't always the polished media mogul we know today. He started out grinding in comedy clubs just like Katt Williams, chasing the same dream. But somewhere along the way, Steve found the right connections and the doors to Hollywood began to open. From stand-up stages to television screens, to best-selling books and talk show empires, Steve Harvey became a household name. Yet, as his fame grew, so did the questions. How did he really make it? Was it talent alone, or was there something else behind his rise to the top of Hollywood's elite? Katt Williams' criticism cuts deep, built on one bold idea: that Steve Harvey didn't just work hard to reach the top, he used people to get there. According to Katt, Steve Harvey's rise wasn't just about talent, it was about connections. The kind of connections that open doors, get you in the room, and help you climb, even if you're not the most talented person there. That's the narrative Katt's pushing, that Steve Harvey's power in Hollywood doesn't come from being the best comedian, it comes from playing people like pieces on a board. So, what does that mean for the comedy world? Katt's accusations hit a nerve because they expose something that's been brewing for years, that comedy today isn't just about jokes. It's about power, control, and reputation. Katt Williams has been around long enough to know how the game is played. And now, he's telling the public that Steve Harvey has mastered the art of building an empire through manipulation. For Katt, it's not about what Steve says in front of the camera, it's about what happens when the cameras are off. He claims Steve uses his clean, family man persona as a shield, while behind closed doors, he's cutting deals and cutting people out who don't fit his version of success. It's the classic Hollywood story, where the good guy gets the pass, and the truth teller gets silenced. But Katt's not alone. Other comedians have spoken out too, names like Monique, Dave Chappelle, even Kevin Hart, all pointing to the same pattern. Hollywood lifts you up, then spits you out. And those in power, people like Steve Harvey, are the ones who control the narrative. What makes Katt's take so powerful is how he connects Steve Harvey's alleged behavior to a bigger issue, how power in comedy can be used to silence competition, bury talent, and rewrite the rules. Katt says Steve Harvey isn't just playing the game, he's rigging it. And here's the thing, when Katt Williams speaks, people listen. He's built his entire career on calling out hypocrisy, no matter the cost. So when he comes for someone as big as Steve Harvey, the world pays attention. Because this isn't about petty beef, this is about power. The power to control your story, the power to decide who succeeds, and the power to keep others from ever getting a shot. That, Katt says, is what Steve Harvey represents, someone who used his influence to stay on top and shut down anyone who threatens his throne. And the irony? Steve Harvey has built an entire brand preaching about success, authenticity, and faith. He's written books, led seminars, and told millions to speak it into existence. But to Katt, it's all a scam. He calls out Harvey for being the exact opposite of what he preaches, a man who sells inspiration on camera but plays manipulation behind the scenes. That's what frustrates Katt the most, because in his eyes, the very people who claim to be real are the ones keeping the lies alive. So what's the takeaway? Katt Williams isn't just throwing shade, he's pulling the curtain back on a truth that's been hiding in plain sight. Steve Harvey may be a legend, but Katt says behind the curtain is a man more obsessed with keeping his power than keeping it real. And that's why Katt's speaking out. Because in this business, it's not always about being the best, it's about who you know, what you'll do to stay there, and who you're willing to throw under the bus. Katt's not just calling out Steve Harvey, he's calling out the entire system. This is Buzz and Drama, where we dig into the truth behind the headlines. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us what you think. Is Steve Harvey really a fraud, or is Katt Williams just bitter? One thing's for sure, when Katt Williams speaks, everyone listens.